it's great to be here, and of course, it's a brand new winter's morning in this side of town, and yes, we're talking about meditation. Now, for a long time, a lot of people across the board have asked me, what are the big benefits of medicine? And every time I tell them my story. And my story goes something like this. Recently, I was traveling on a plane from Delhi to Chennai. As you know, the mornings are foggy, and so everybody at the airport was saying, oh my God, foggy morning, it's so grey, we're so depressed, etc., etc. And then finally, the flight took off, and slowly it climbed. And as it climbed, it went above the clouds. And as it went above the clouds, beautiful, pristine blue sky, a lovely morning sun, and it looked all happy. And that for me is meditation. It clears the mind and it gives you a feeling of happiness. But today I said I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you the evidence, because we as human beings believe in evidence. First and foremost, yes, it is about stress. We all know that as far as meditation is concerned, it's a stress buster. But how is it a stress buster? Here's the evidence.
Work by David Creswell in the United States has found that if people are not mindful, then the amygdala, the part of the brain that underlies fight and flight, the evolutionary old part of the brain, that tends to be chronically overactive. And what happens during mindfulness practice is it tends to damp that down, tends to naturally inhibit as you learn mindfulness. And that means that people are less likely to be, as it were, constantly stressed, rushed off their feet, but also they're less likely to respond to their own negative thinking, which, when people aren't mindful, tends to trigger these fight and flight responses.
Research published just last month in the Journal of Health Psychology shows that mindfulness is linked with decreased levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Not only that, meditation results in an increase in the level of serotonin, the happy chemical in the brain.
Other than being a stress buster, it calms some parts of the mind and makes other parts of the mind more active. It actually makes your brain bigger. No, you don't get big-brained in that sense of the word, but it certainly does help you to function better as a human being in all senses of the word.
And then when we look at the structure of the brain, not only is the brain functioning differently, but the actual structure of the brain, what some people call the real estate of the brain, is being recruited in the service of greater compassion, equanimity, clarity, and wisdom. And you can see that in different regions of the brain that actually become thicker.
Meditation practice is linked with an increased signaling connection in the brain, something called axonal density, as well as increased activity in the prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is the reason center.
Now, for all you students out here, here's the big one. It makes you learn better. So how does meditation, which is supposed to calm your mind and make it all simple and straight and easy, how does it make you learn better? How does it improve your power of learning?
And mindfulness has now been used in various capacities for treatment of sick people, for pain, mood disorders, addiction. You might be familiar with mindfulness-based stress reduction. There's also relapse prevention. It's also been used to study mental training in healthy people. So kind of looking at optimal functioning, pushing the limits of what we consider to be healthy and well. And it's also been a cornerstone of basic science into neuroplasticity. So how it is that the brain can change in structure and function as in adulthood.
Researchers from the University of California, Santa Barbara found that college students who were trained in mindfulness performed better on verbal reasoning in the GRE and also experienced improvement in their math scores.
And this is a big one for the body world, for the health world. It's about the heart. Heart disease is one of the biggest killers of all time, everywhere, no matter what. And you know what? That it actually reduces heart disease, it actually reduces hypertension and makes you feel better overall.
Believe it or not, it wasn't until April 2013 that the American Heart Association made a scientific statement that transcendental meditation was the only form of stress management and meditation to reduce blood pressure. It is the most efficacious way for us to treat one of the major risk factors of heart disease, which is stress.
Findings in the American Journal of Health show that practicing meditation is linked with lower yearly doctor costs. Over 65-year-olds have less of a chance of a stroke or heart disease when compared with people who don't practice meditation.
Well, the bottom line, of course, is that it makes you happy. Meditation makes you a happier, healthier person. And at the end of the day, that is all that you and I are striving for. Now, you want to know more about meditation? Why don't you just check out my website, subscribe to YouTube, and of course, you can join one of my programs. And yes, we'll do it together because we want to make the world a better place to live in. Right now, I'm signing off. Love and light, health and happiness to all of you. Till we meet again on the other side of another YouTube.